In its reaction to Mozambique's boat accident that claimed the lives of almost 100 people in the Nampula province, President Cyril Ramaphosa sent his message of condolences to the government and the families. This comes after a makeshift boat ferrying around 130 people capsized as citizens were fleeing over disinformation of a cholera outbreak in the region. Rescuers say that they found 5 survivors while the search continues for more people. However, sea conditions impacted the rescue operations. To unpack the story, we are now joined by video link by the Mozambique's High Commissioner to South Africa, Manuela dos Santos Lucas, who's now joining us live. High Commissioner, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. Condolences indeed to you as well as your fellow countrymen. What information do you have at your disposal around what happened here?
Good morning. This morning I spoke with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs home, and as you said, it's around 100 people, 100 lives that we lost on that ferry. It's really the issue is disinformation, because what they told them, we don't know whom, they're still investigating, is that there was a lot of cholera coming in that district of Lunga. Okay, it's in the same province of Nampula. And, these fisher people with the boats, they want money, and they allow 120 people to go in that boat. If you see the boat, you cannot believe that 120 people they were there. But there were 120 people. So definitely, I think it's an issue of disinformation. So there's still investigation just to know what went wrong, what happened, So thank you very much first for inviting me for this morning. And thank you very much, South Africa, for the condolences and sympathies and the letter for a message of condolence that the President Cyril Ramaphosa sent to our President Philippe Jacinto. So thank you very much.
No, you're welcome, High Commissioner. So the extent of that disinformation that has come through, and I understand that you say that investigations are still underway, but is it clear what the person who was disseminating this information was saying about the cholera outbreak? Because we understand that the Nampula province already has some cholera cases, if I'm not mistaken, around 13,000 cases that have been reported. But what is it that this individual said about cholera?
No, because you know that if one person start to agitate just one, it goes to 2, 3, people, they're afraid of cholera. People, they're afraid of this hemorrhagic conjunctivitis. I don't know how to call it. I think you call it a red eye, okay? We're having a red eye, especially in the northern part, but also especially in the south. We're having the cholera in Nampula, as you said. But also, don't forget that Nampula also is receiving a lot of displaced people that are coming from Cabo Delgado, okay? People that are just running, people that just panic by anything, okay, because they're afraid. There is a lot of people that have been killed. There is a lot of people that they lost their family, okay. So any information saying that there is a cholera coming in, so people they thought, okay, let's run, let's go, and they took families. Yeah. So they lost a lot of families. Yesterday, when there were interviews in our television, you could see that some they lost 5 members of the same family, some 3 members of the same family. But it's just a panic because northern part of Mozambique, especially because of Cabo Delgado, people now, they're really in panic. So anything that they disseminate and saying that is coming, is going to kill you, people, they just take it. They just take it. So it was really unfortunately very, very, very sad. Because, the life is sacred, so you cannot just allow people just to die like this. And they're just women and kids, So just really, it's really very sad. But it's just a panic in the northern part of Mozambique.
Yeah. And Commissioner, from your understanding as well, the people who own some of these ferries, the people who build some of these makeshift ferries, what would these ferries ordinarily be used for? And is there any maritime officials that would guard against, for instance, or should be guarding against vessels of this nature being used to ferry people?
This ferry, if you had the chance to see them, you'll see that just for fishing, okay? They're a little bit large compared with the traditional, the small ones, but they're real for fishing, not for taking people, not transporting people. And this boat, as I told you before, is small. Maybe we can, if you see ourselves, we can just say that, okay, maybe it's for 10, 20 people, but not for 120 people. So I think definitely that's why our president, Philippe Jacinto, says that they were saying we need to investigate, but also we need to investigate our authorities. How there is no fiscalization, how there is no supervision, just to see what these people they're doing in the sea, okay? So it's really, unfortunately, I think these fishermen, they normally take people, transport people, but their activity is for fishing, not for transport population.
Okay. Is it known where they wanted to flee to? This is now speaking about the residents who were fleeing the province. Where exactly is it that they wanted to go to? And are you able to indicate if they paid to be ferried and how much?
I'm not sure how much they paid, but definitely they paid. But they were going, they were leaving one district, okay, in the continental, it's called Lunga, and they were going to the island. It's called the island of Mozambique. In Mozambique, we call the Ilha de Mozambique. It's where there was, in the same province, Nampula. It's a very historical island because it was our first capital. So they were going to Ilha de Mozambique, they were going to island.
Oh. And now, of course, this tragedy that has taken place, what's the next step for the people of Mozambique as well as the government?
The government yesterday sent our Minister of Transport and Communication with his team. They went to the place where the things happened, just to present their condolences and sympathy to the population, trying to have those population, these families that they lost their loved one, and helping them. But also they took a team just to investigate, just to know what happened. So the Minister of Transport and Communication, this team, the governor of the province, all the authorities that were there yesterday, until late yesterday, just to try to understand what happened, but also to help the families. So I think definitely the government now is just waiting for the investigation, quick investigation, just to give the results what happened, and to put these people responsible of this tragedy in the authorities, legal authorities,
Yeah. Is it known whether the person who was in charge of managing the ferry, the boat, if that person survived?
Yes, survived. It survived. That's why now it's caught by the legal authorities, the police, and try to wait for this investigation. But they survived.
Have they been arrested?
Yes, they are arrested. They are arrested.
Okay.
They are arrested.
Okay. Another big one, of course, High Commissioner, is the outbreak of cholera in the province and the measures that the Mozambican government would have to ensure is put in place to ensure that it doesn't spread further. Are you able to speak to us about that?
When you talk about the province, you talk about the province of Nampula.
Nampula, yes.
Yeah, in Nampula. Yes, the government has been working there. The health authorities, they've been working on Nampula as far as the cholera is concerned. As I informed you, they are receiving a lot of Mozambicans. Just one district, they have they have more than 100,000 displaced people. Okay, they're trying to create conditions there, but there's a lot of people in the same place. So that's why they're having this outbreak of cholera. The displaced people that are coming from Cabo Delgado, Nampula is receiving them, but they're having this trouble now because there are a lot of people in the same place. So it's really it's not easy to control that. It's not easy to control. So they have all these teams, health teams, trying to control the outbreak of the cholera.
Yeah.
Because what they didn't want is just the cholera to expand to other provinces. So they're trying to control.
High Commissioner, thank you so much for your time once again, and condolences once again to you as well as your fellow countrymen. So that was the Mozambique's High Commissioner to South Africa, Manuela dos Santos, Lucas, speaking to us about the tragedy that occurred in the northern parts of Mozambique. Close to 100 people that died after that boat capsized.